Now we pass the word to former Prime Minister of Slovenia, Mr. Alojz Peterle.
Dobro večer. Good evening, distinguished excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I could say also, dear friends, if I see in first row Mate Granic and some other known faces, I'm happy to be among those to celebrate with reasons 100 years of birth of Margaret Thatcher. I will start with my very clear memory how it was on the very day of the attack of Yugoslav Communist Army on Slovenia, few hours after we proclaimed independence on the 26th of June 1991. Margaret Thatcher was the first Western politician who called me and she said, Mr. Prime Minister, tell me what is going on in your country. We must defend young Slovenian democracy. I will immediately call George Bush and John Major. And I'm sure that she did. Because she was one of those who keep the word. And I would like to say a few words also with regard to what former Minister Mate Granic said about the context. I would like to say that this was the first war in Europe after Second World War. For me, as a Prime Minister, it did not last only 10 days. There were 10 days of fighting, but when my government was elected on the 16th of May 1990, Yugoslav army decided to take weapons from the so-called territorial defense, and we understood that congratulations, I would say. So we began our way to independence with empty hands, and we began our preparations for defense the very next day. I would like to share with you also a very important fact which is not that much in the memory even of high-level politicians. Many politicians don't know that the then Yugoslav constitution had the provision on self-determination, right to self-determination, and even secession. This was written in the then constitution. And when I visited Belgrade several times, I was trying to convince Prime Minister Marković and others to agree how to do this, how to respect the will of Slovenians to have democracy and sovereign state, but as we know, this was not possible. And I would like to add something else as far as Yugoslavia is concerned. Many people think that Yugoslavia was killed by the Democrats. It was not. The communists were not able to agree how to continue. Mate Granic was clear with that. There was that caravan of the presidents moving from one capital to another one, but they were not able to agree. And we proposed in January 1991, together with Croatian government, that idea of confederation, which was refused. And I think it was important that Margaret Thatcher was one of those who understood the situation, who were very clear as far as principles and basic values are concerned. And when we spoke for the first time I had to mention her historic speech in Bruges. I admired always her clarity, her integrity, credibility, but also responsibility and determination. And those words from that speech in Bruges are, I would say, very essential words. She said, we must never forget that east of the Iron Curtain, people are still denied their basic human rights. We must offer them hope, not by creating a new empire, but by showing them the success of free nations. And after the Berlin Wall was off, she said, communism has failed because it denies the very essence of human nature, the desire for freedom, for creativity, for ownership. I would like to say now, because I'm happy that I see my friend and former representative of Slovenian government for UK, Mr. Kit Miles, with his wife. So I would like to tell you that we, as a non-recognized country, we were not able to have ambassadors. So we decided to have representatives or offices of Slovenian government in several countries, in UK, France, Italy, Russia, United States, and so on. And it was not that bad, I would say, to have special representatives, because they were not obliged to follow usual severe diplomatic rules or diplomatic protocol. They were able to overjump the queue and to meet the right people in the right moment, I would say. And I'm very grateful, Kit, that you were able to do this on our behalf at that time. I think it was important that we had such a relation with Lady Thatcher. She was not anymore in the office, but I think that for quite a time she was still more influential than her successor, John Major. And she was not a leader, she was the leader. And you know, today many political leaders follow public opinion, but she was the one who was shaping, forming public opinion, and she was stronger in strategy than in tactics. And in her time, PR was not stronger than the substance. In that case, she was in that sense of the word, she was an example. And I would like to say that I celebrate with you her 100th anniversary, not that much with the idea of the past. I think that Margaret Thatcher, her ideas do not belong just to the past, but belong to the future. I attended a few days ago a conservative conference in Prague, which was dedicated to the Central Europe and its future. I would say in symbolic way that I met Margaret Thatcher there, because the idea she believed in were presented there, maybe in new language, but in essence, we were discussing how to combine economic liberalism with social conservatism and with strong sense of national sovereignty. And we spoke also about centralism, which was considered by her as a political sickness. And we know also from Yugoslavia that centralism is not a solution to the challenges we were facing or we are facing. I could add, I would say, even anecdotes, but I would like to finish just by saying thank you, Madam Thatcher.